Classical information for the classical mind. Now, without further ado, we bring you an update from the wrinkle itself. It is something that we must and should have done quite some long time ago. Without further ado. So it turns out that America is a entity and a group of Americans that are full of chaos. We do love ourselves some good classical, but however, we love the chaos. Now, as we delve deeper into the wrinkle, we will find that there's more to life than what we would have assumed. More to what we've been taught, what we've learned over years, over time, over millennia. Is it possible that maybe UFOs are true? Is it possible that maybe a light body could just appear in front of you that is not from you? Maybe we can speak even more about those very silly deep state. Welcome to a new wrinkle on the brain.
Yes, y'all. I is back. I is doing it. Ooh, Lorte. How y'all doing though? Man, what's up though? Well, I tell you, today's a beautiful day. So I just wanted to share that with you. Today's a beautiful day. And you know what? If you agree with me, click on a little like button down below. You know, let the system know you like what I like and we like what we like. No, we gonna get into today. Today's gonna be a good day. I'm really excited about this. Thank you guys for checking this out. Thank you for being part of the new Ring of the Brain. I am BG. I'm back here with you. What's up though? So yeah, we're gonna go in and do something today because I got a ring and a half for you for real. So we're gonna get it in for sure. But before I begin, let me preface everything that y'all know. I took a break. I was chilling, kicking it. I was out there fishing, doing my thing, having a good old time, boy. And things happen. Some of the proverbial shit has hit the fan, and I finally feel motivated to start recording again. This is something I didn't think I'd ever be forced to do, or something I'd like. Hey, you better start recording, motherfucker. I didn't know all that, so you know what? Yes, the time is now for the wrinkle. I mean, there's no better time than now. So we're gonna get it in. I'm so excited about this. It's something new, something I haven't seen before. So I talked about this on part one. If you heard part one, you heard me very excited, like, "Oh my god, we got the ghost!" So just to let y'all know, the ghost is back. So I got my homegirl, the ghost, here. We're gonna do a little multicast, kind of like a little simulcast. I don't even know if she knows I'm doing all this because I've been watching her for quite some time, and this is really one of these presenters. I feel they're so dope. I need to show it to you. So I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna watch something new with you, so you can get my genuine reaction as well. So we both gonna be sitting there like, oh, like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So just hang in there with me. Look at this as though it may or may not be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know for sure if this is fact. I'm not here to debunk nothing. That's not my job. My job is to give you info I have heard, and I'm like, whoa, what is that info? And then I give it to you, and that gives you a wrinkle on the brain. That's really what I'm here for. I appreciate y'all for being there for it. But for the most part, we're gonna get a wrinkle today. See what I'm saying? I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to this. So this is from a channel on YouTube. She did get hit a while back. It was terrible. I thought the channel was lost. I was very scared myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. But please, if you can support, please do. I tell you to support somebody else, please, if you can, give my site a check out. I am on Spotify under A New Wrinkle on the Brain. You can always go to the support link, and any support helps. 99 cents, lowest I can get it. If you can support as best you can, I really do appreciate it. Now, as far as what we're going to see right now, I'm going to put all the links and everything below, so you'll be able to find this. I'll make sure I save it to the data dump that nobody knows about, so you will be able to see this in the playlist as well. So if you're not super well versed in what you're about to see, I'll make sure there's a way you can see what I'm doing for you. So check this out. This is gonna be the new one here. So we
Hello
got the
and
new
welcome.
episode. Hold up. Before we get in, she does a little intro and all that. So I'm not gonna jump over the intro. I'm gonna let her do her thing. Due to the current copyright strike issues, I need to be careful how much I give to you and how much I'll talk. So I am gonna pause it from here and there just to make sure I'm able to put some ones and twos in there. I'm not going to forward through the video at all. I think the video speaks for itself. She does amazing work. Once again, this is from the Ghost, ex-CIA agent turned private operative. Amazing person. And definitely has some amazing stories that you've never heard before. So hang in, check it out, strap in, get ready. That new ring on the brain is popping. Let's go ahead and do it, y'all. Yep.
Welcome to your weekly dose of the real world, where truth is stranger than fiction and things are not always as they seem. Today's job is a thrilling journey into the world of cybersecurity and a race against time to decode a cryptic message and prevent a powerful digital weapon from triggering a global cyber war. They call me the Ghost. I'm an independent dark operative on the dark web, taking on the mysterious and outrageous jobs that no one else will or can. And this is one of our adventures. Take a listen and enjoy.
So yeah. Before we go in, I'm gonna go in and give my ones and twos real quick. Once again, like I said, this is someone I've been following for quite some time. You can find a lot of her videos within my playlist that's called the Data Dump that no one knows about. I'm down here in the bottom right hand corner if you don't see me. But yes, this is gonna be interesting. I've always thought about this kind of like conundrum. I've worked in securities, financial securities, IT security. I'm aware of all these things, and I've even worked for Apple. So at one point, there was a time working for Apple where we had to think about IT security. It was during the transition from iTunes to what you currently have now with Apple Music. Apple Music was not a thing when I began with Apple. When I began with Apple, you had something completely separate. iTunes, it was its own system, it was its own software. I mean, if you had an Apple PC or PC data, something that just worked on Windows and you wanted an Apple phone, we had to go through this every day where we would go through the whole setup process for Apple, get your iTunes account linked up. And that was back when, if anyone remembers this is back when you had your Microsoft Windows media player. Game changer. The media player was crazy. And what was really cool with it was you were able to purchase music on a very easy basis with Microsoft Music. Windows Music was great. Windows Music Media, not a problem. We were able to transfer thousands of files at a time. What ended up causing us a bottleneck was when they went to Windows 10, 11, business, all that bullshit. When they made that software change, it was a lot. There were a lot of holes. It was not complete when they rolled it out. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but if anyone's 30 plus, you know what I'm talking about. There was a time where you were at work or even in your home environment, if you had an Apple PC or Apple systems and you were trying to merge that with Windows, they don't talk. We know that for a fact. But what got weird is the way they would communicate. There was a certain security passcode and a pass through where information could transfer, but we didn't know how. And no one really understood how. Like even our IT professionals had no real idea. Like, I don't know, the system just seems to do it. Like, I mean, we know we have there's a zip and unzip option, for Windows where you could zip and unzip a file. It doesn't do that in Apple. Apple does something different. I think there's a there. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like, ooh, I want to check this out, especially when it comes to global data. We don't understand, but a lot of people around the world have Apple products. Apple's only made in China. That doesn't mean they don't sell it everywhere else. So I mean, you might have somebody down in the Philippines making a financial trade with someone in Maryland, and that trade has to go through a lot of systems. If you're in another country, period, there's tons of black tape. It's very, very difficult. There's bureaucracy. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. It's if I needed to move $1 million, I'm gonna have an issue. I think where this is gonna go is gonna be very, very interesting. And again, I'm thinking about this from a financial standpoint as well. I've worked in risk management, fraud, and whatnot. So when I think about fraud and how the FTX scandal happened, Bitcoin happened, I'm not giving financial information or financial advice. I am going to say this: if you're comfortable playing with systems you cannot control, that's on you. I like money. I like things I could touch. I like numbers to where I can go to the bank and go grab it. If you can't do that with whatever you working with on your portfolio, good luck to you. I hope you're able to get a payback. I hope you get a payback at all. Because with everything that happened with FTX, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, if you're not aware, I did a whole video on that too. Check that out in the playlist section below. And I'll also link that into the data dump that no one knows about. In the data dump no one knows about, actually video probably 7, maybe 10, 10, 7, 10, 7 or 10 down. There's one in there about FBX. But I'm gonna do some more about that too, because there actually is an update on that. But anyway, let me digress. I'm sorry. I'll be talking this shit. I get all excited and whatnot. I'm so sorry. But yeah, global digital chaos from They Call Her the Ghost. Let's go.
All right, so I know you like to hear the request. Here is what came in, encrypted, sent via our secure channel. It said, "Dear Ghost, this is Max, a name from your past during your time with the CIA. We find ourselves crossing paths again under circumstances I wish were different. The digital world stands on the brink of chaos. In the heart of this impending storm lies Quantum Core, an entity we once trusted, now implicated in clandestine endeavors that threaten our collective digital existence. Quantum Core's darkest secret, Project KGDI, has surfaced as a digital weapon with the power to dismantle our reality. We received the following cryptic message that appears to be a direction or a mission. It says, "Orpheus descends, lost echoes resound, shadows entwined. Seek the origin." And that was it. And then the requester continued. "We would like to utilize your specialized skills to help understand and stop this potential catastrophe. We cannot risk compromise should we uncover a mole on this. There can only be a select few agents that even know about this. Should you take the job, and I hope you do, we need your expertise. Please respond as soon as possible. The fate of the digital world may rely on this. Signed, Max." Okay, so wow, right? Well, after I received this cryptic message from Max during my late night vigil, I called an emergency meeting and pulled everyone out of the various things they were doing. The atmosphere was a little tense as I relayed to them the contents of this request. I pulled the message up so we can all see it. Now, my team and I may not quite realize what all is going on here at the start of this, but we definitely know that this message, it's a riddle. Let me explain what we saw when we saw that message. The cryptic part is what I'm talking about inside of the request. Okay, so Orpheus descends. Okay, well, in Greek mythology, Orpheus was a legendary musician and poet who descended into the underworld to retrieve his wife. So, we read that as it's a difficult journey or mission into a dangerous place. For us in this project, we could be talking about the dark web here, for instance. All right, how about lost echoes resound? Now, this phrase might suggest that something from the past is coming back, or maybe old information thought to be maybe lost or irrelevant is becoming important again. All right, shadows entwined. This phrase implies a deep connection. Maybe They mean alliances, secrets, obscured information. We can only guess at this point. Lastly, seek the origin. This likely means that we as a team need to uncover the roots of whatever this situation is. Something clearly with Project KGDI. Now, given my previous association with the CIA, if you're listening and you don't know, by the way, I left the CIA to do what I do now. Okay. All right. But so I already have limited knowledge about Quantum Core's secret projects. And I did have to change the name of this company for this story so I could tell it to you. But it's the same idea. You'll get the picture anyway. Now, the CIA has always been watching these guys, and I knew a little bit about Project KGDI just from things that I knew over time and in the past. I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know.
I'm gonna pause it here for a second because he's using some notes. So like those notes, I think she just gave us a hint. If that hint is true, hold on. I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong, but let's go back a second. I'm gonna go back a couple seconds, 10, 20 seconds. I just want to make sure I heard what I think I heard.
The origin. This likely means that we as a team need to uncover the roots of whatever this situation is. Something clearly with Project KGDI. Now, given my previous association with the CIA, if you're listening and you don't know, by the way, I left the CIA to do what I do now. Okay. All right. But so I already have limited knowledge about Quantum Core's secret projects. And I did have to change the name of this company for this story so I could tell it to you. But it's the same idea. You'll get the picture.
She's right. It's the same idea, the same situation that we already understood. Bill Gates had a huge link with DGI Industries, which ended up becoming what we now know as D Wave. If anyone's covered anything with quantum computing, you understand what I mean when I say D Wave. She gave you all the hints. She said, I gave you, she's like, I can't say the name. I changed the names to make everything cool. But KGBI, what? Like, that's a coding language. However, it's also something that can link back to KGB. Who would have been KGB? KGB would have been Soviet Union, old school DOS computers trying to decode stuff in green screen. But who would have had that old data? Not the Russians, but who would have had the old data? I'm thinking Ukraine. Ukraine, D Wave, there's a link there. There has to be some more information on that. I'll look into it myself. But for you out there, I hope this ties up a couple lines for you because this is not a BS story. Every story she posts, later, it comes out that oh shit, it was her. So if anyone recalls a certain piece of information being found due to a submarine sinking, and I'm not talking about a submarine with a PS4 controller. There may have been a bridge. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. And then there's other stories as well from the ghosts that I've shared here on my podcast. And I can go into the nautical stuff, the stuff that happens underwater, but I don't think today's the place, time, or anything like that to do that. I do appreciate y'all for being here. Check this out. The rest of this is about to get spicy, y'all. Get ready.
Anyway. Now, the CIA has always been watching these guys, and I knew a little bit about Project KGDI just from things that I knew over time and in the past. I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know enough. I immediately reply and accept this job. For this, I don't need to go in first. I clearly know the client. We are going to work on this, and it was time to get started immediately. And one of the great things is that with all of this taking place in the same city as our warehouse, it made it a lot easier. We could work right from there, which was majorly convenient. Now, before I get into everything that we do about this job, though, and all of that, let me tell you a little bit about what I knew about Project KGDI. This was a landmark innovation in the field of quantum computing, okay, a really big deal. Quantum Core had been a leader in quantum tech, and KGDI was meant to be their crowning achievement. It was developed as a sophisticated quantum encryption and decryption system. Okay, so a tool that would revolutionize the way we protect and access information in, our digital age. Sounds great, right? Well, we thought so. But we know what happens, don't we, to great things. Somehow someone gets this bright idea to change it or use it in a way that they feel it needs to be used instead of how it was originally meant to be used. And this was a really sophisticated deal. It allowed quantum computers to process information at a speed and complexity that would make a traditional computer look like some kind of ancient tool. Quantum computers, quantum bits or qubits, etc., lots of stuff like that. But you can get the picture. This project was something great, and it was supposed to capitalize on its strengths, and its strengths basically made it unbreakable. But it was powerful, which meant that any secret out there, if used in the wrong way, could now be accessible. So you can see where malicious minds could and would want a piece of this. This could be used in a few different ways, and it was kind of like a double-edged sword that in the right hands would have the potential to transform global security and information sharing, which we all count on and we need in today's world. Just think about medical records, though, okay? Privacy, countries and their security. The security we get from our digital world within our world is something we pretty much take for granted every single day. It would be a catastrophe on the other side to lose it. And that is our danger here. Somewhere along the way, the mission of Project KGDI shifted. The power to decrypt any encryption was just too enticing for this one group. Quantum Core, or rather certain individuals within Quantum Core, saw an opportunity here to create something far more sinister, a quantum digital weapon. Instead of something securing and accessing information, they wanted to use KGDI to control and manipulate it, to infiltrate secure systems worldwide and cause unparalleled chaos. And you have to know the transformation of Project KGDI from a tool of security to a weapon of mass destruction, it wasn't sudden. This was a very gradual change driven by greed and power. And by the time Joshua realized what was happening, and you'll learn about him in a minute, he was already too deep into it to simply walk away. And this is how we would find him. Okay, but first, we ended up calling Max, for any other information that we would need. And one thing I wanted to know was, why was he calling on us? They are the CIA. Well, in essence, he explained that this mess was basically a quantum key to any digital lock, okay, capable of bypassing any existing cybersecurity measures as if they didn't even exist. Okay, do I have your attention yet? Well, there's more. This thing didn't stop at just infiltration. It could also reprogram what was going on in the system that it was in. This meant it could alter data, disrupt power grids, manipulate defense systems, etc., etc. This was a company who inside it had a team of geniuses that in a way became, this one little group became this rogue faction, and it was operating in secret among everyone else who was trying to do a good thing. And these guys, they were good at what they did. They were ghosts, kind of like us, but operating on the other side of the law. At the end of the day, this was a very delicate situation, and Max called on us because they would not expect us at Quantum Core, and we could work under the radar, dig into everything, break out all the ugly stuff, and then, when it's all said and done on that front, we would hand it over to the CIA to take it from there. So we were going to be, I don't know, this isn't really the right term, but I guess we'd be the muscle behind the suits. We're going to go in and get some things done, and then we're going to hand it over to them to handle all of the legalities and things like that. This would be a battle of wits, a chess game in a way. This whole thing actually.
So I'm gonna pause right there real quick. Because this chess game she talks about, this exchange of information, this existential threat. Like all the keywords are there. Like all the keywords are there. Like this is about to be the next problem. This will be the next, oh my God, what have we done type situation. Now, the oh my God situation should have been, and I'm just being honest here, it should have been when we allowed our medical information to be displayed online in any way, shape, or form without our representation and without the regulations of HIPAA and certain other regulations. Those are simple things that we could have fixed a long time ago. And our friend COVID, we all know who that is. I'm not about that life. I'm not about that fear. But what I am afraid of is, dude, they have a lot of liberties now with your personal information. Please understand, this is not a game anymore, guys. This is no longer a, hey, I think something's going on. I think something weird is here, guys. Nope, it's bigger than that. You know what? I'm not sure if people remember this. I remember this. I have a memory. A lot of us don't because probably playing around with short stories and whatnot. But no, seriously, there was a story. I don't know if anyone remembers this. There was a wildfire in Tennessee, Southern America, Southern Central America, if you will. You know, like right in the middle of America. Uh, Colorado was on fire, and the smoke and whatnot was moving, and it moved into Indiana, Michigan, moved up around, and we ended up having a whole bunch of Canadian fires fairly recently, within the last 10 to 12 months. Within the last 10 to 12 months, there was also a situation that occurred in Tennessee. Tennessee is a beacon for all Wi-Fi. Not sure if people are aware of that. That's kind of where digital fiber began. AT&T fiber programs usually started around Tennessee, Colorado area. There's a reason if you live in Colorado that you're able to get Wi-Fi instantly, if not faster than most places on ground level. Ground level Wi-Fi is pretty simple. It works as a very simple principle, very similar to RF radio. It is a one-way, two-way system. So when you look at your computer or your phone, you're like, oh, my upload and download rate's doing blah, 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 blah. That's because of the upload and download rate of how fast the Wi-Fi is able to move through the air. Most states have very few issues because they're above sea level. I'm in southern Texas. We're not above sea level. We're in some places below, some places right at. Like it varies. We're a very hilly area. With that brought issues of digital Wi-Fi. If anyone remembers this, and I was here for this, it was during COVID. They were trying to lay AT&T fiber lines to new homes. It didn't go well. And what they ran into were just the basic principles of dynamics. And what also kind of pissed me off was, well, if you've already laid the lines, you laid the fiber pipe, y'all didn't count on the data running downstream, upstream, what elevations can do, what maybe a node or thousands of nodes. I don't think that was thought out. And because of thousands of nodes needed just to be downtown, like every New Year's Eve downtown San Antonio, if you're downtown, you can't use your phone. There's not enough power. There's not enough LAN, LAN receivers for your Wi-Fi. I think that was an issue. Now, outside of Wi-Fi, she's talking about something bigger as far as data, your data, you, what makes you. I don't think we take that into consideration a lot, especially with our emails, right? I'm a victim of it. I just recently, I was looking for a job. I had to go check my email, and I was like, you know what? Let me change how my resume looks, what it says, where it directs people, and how it works if I put out a resume again. And I made a whole lot of changes and a lot of updates. It has shown dividends as far as returns. What I'm concerned about is, what if digital AI takes that over and then we don't have control anymore? I think there's a there. So let's listen a little closer to the next couple parts here, because I think she's going to give us some more info on exactly what the problem was. Let's find out what the problem was, and I'll give my solutions on the back end.
Actually made us as a group kind of ticked off. I mean, there's a point when you're doing some of these jobs that it just gets taken too far. People just they go wild with new technology and new information. It's something, it clicks in their brain. They lose all logic and sense of what is right and wrong. And in a way, guys, it's those people that you're dealing with that can be the most dangerous of all, because they are in control of what's going on and they're not right at the time. So it is a lot to deal with. We get started right away. We first start looking into any digital footprints that were still traceable. In the world of cybersecurity and digital forensics, a digital footprint would be the trail of data left by a user while using the internet. And you're hearing more and more about this today. It's more open, the information's out there. Things like IP addresses, login and logout times, the websites someone visited, the emails they sent, all the stuff they look for when you commit a crime. You see it when you're watching all those crime shows. That's what we're looking for. Now, that said, it can also encompass a coding style in the case of a programmer or a hacker. So basically, a digital footprint is a record of a person's activity as well as some of their habits, usage style, patterns, things like that. So we do all of that. Then, and this thing took a long while, we went over everything that we had and we were able to locate an Orpheus Echo that was out there, a user. We noticed that they are using a specific set of tools and methods they do to carry out their lovely hacking activities. As we got deeper into different open source intelligence and reports of cyber attacks, we start to notice a pattern that gets our interest. As we started to cross-reference the timestamps of these attacks, we notice that they're predominantly happening during a specific 4-hour window, which is between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. All right, so this Orpheus is active during those times. We have to know that this could be the hacker's local time. If we are to consider that, then it would mean that they have open time during these hours and they would be up. Then we start to look at the coding and we discover even more. We can see that somewhere someone is exploiting certain esoteric vulnerabilities that really only a handful of individuals in our entire world would even know about. And follow me here, okay? But by having access to these vulnerabilities, it actually would provide someone a way to bypass quantum encryption algorithms. And it would make sense that they're using it here and that it could be crucial to the workings of Project KGDI. It may not seem like a lot yet that we've uncovered here, but it actually is quite a bit. We are now ready to plunge into the digital ocean of Quantum Core and their data. We specifically target any evidence of abnormal activity during those hours of 2 and 6 a.m. of the employees who had access to the servers that were affected. Who is Orpheus? Well, we are slowly able to uncover suspicious actions that were tied to a Quantum Core employee named Joshua Klein. This guy appeared to be a talented quantum computing scientist. The intrusions that we found that were aligned with Joshua's late night work sessions and his use of esoteric vulnerabilities to bypass Quantum Core's advanced security measures were the same methods that we found were used by Orpheus Echo. So, of course, we kept going, and we find even more ties between Joshua and Orpheus. We find out that Joshua, who is, by the way, a very well-regarded expert in quantum, well, we find out that he just happens to be a fan of Greek mythology. So this is all because of an interest he has, this secret message in the words he's using. He's all over the forums discussing his interests, when he's Josh, of course. I find posts signed off on from Echo, of the underworld. And this ties exactly to our Greek myth that I told you about earlier. Joshua even hints at the fact that Orpheus Echo is his alter ego. So now this is making sense, right? I don't know if you guys know a lot about alter egos, but when someone does have an alter ego, it's oftentimes that they are incredibly serious about it. And I mean, I could go on about our research forever, guys, but really, this kind of sums it up. Joshua Klein is a guy who appears to be a very introverted employee who is also a genius scientist. The guy works at Quantum Core. However, from what we can tell, he is also the elusive hacker Orpheus Echo. Well, after days of combing through this data, visiting Max twice, and going through everything again, we were able to start unraveling at least part of this mystery.
That's data security.
For
That's
the
data
next bit, we
science.
continue to.
I'm out. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not gonna give you no more. Nope. I'm not gonna give you no more, man. I'm out. I'm out. And I think this is something where now that you understand it can be done, now that you hear for yourself, quantum computers can be beat. Yeah, we built something amazing that very few people understand, but it doesn't mean that few people understand how to expose it. That's not the case. Please be aware. Even your bank account, your social security number. My son's having an issue himself. He's you know, he's high level. He's a certain person that, for security reasons, I'm not going to bring up names or anything like that. But I can tell you this: if you believe that you've been DDoSed in a way to where you've lost your social security number or your personal information, I am not a data scientist. I cannot give you the analytics of exactly what occurred. I cannot do that. What I can do is very simple. I'm going to put some links into my description here, because if you feel that you've been a victim of data security regulations or even a loss of your data security rights, to where you've had identity theft, you've maybe lost personal information, maybe lost money. These are things that can be mitigated, can be stopped, and you can get your money back. So, again, I'm not a data scientist, but be aware. You can always check your data through all three credit bureaus by calling one simple phone number. I'm going to talk about that phone number here in a little bit. I'll make sure I put all the links and everything below. Give me 1 second. So, yep, here you go. Everything you need. So I found some new information here. It looks like there's one phone number to call, and that's going to be to report identity theft. You can always go to the Federal Trade Commission's phone number directly. You can also go to the website. It's going to be ftc.gov, G-O-V, or you can contact the FTC, Federal Trade Commission. You can do that online at identitytheft.gov, G-O-V. So identitytheft, THEFT.gov, or you can call them at 1-877-438-4338. Remember, once again, it's a Federal Trade Commission, 1-877-438-4338. If you feel that you've been a victim of identity theft in any way, shape, or form, lost money, lost credit, lost identity in full, to where you're seeing that there's new credit inquiries that you did not make, someone's buying a car and you're not buying a car right now, things like that are something you really want to keep track of. If you're not doing that, please try out these websites at least. Go to identitytheft.gov.gov. That's one more time. It's identity theft, IDENT. I'm sorry, IDENTITY THEFT.gov, identitytheft.gov, or you can always go on to their phone number at 1-877-438-4338. I am not a financial professional. I'm not an accountant, and I cannot assist you with any type of violations to your personal information or to your funds, bank accounts, things like that. That's going to be something that you have to monitor yourself. Unfortunately, because yes, there is no government agency that makes it to where a certain cybersecurity hack can be stopped or can be mitigated by getting your money back. You have to take certain steps yourself, and a lot of those are a lot of self-reporting. That self-reporting information has to go to the Federal Trade Commission. Without contacting the Federal Trade Commission, for the most part, no one knows you lost any money. If you feel that you've been a victim of any type of identity theft, funds theft, any type of treason that occurs from an outside entity, meaning someone that's not from this country took money from you, you might want to contact this number. I am not the person to contact. Please do not call me. Don't send me nothing. I can't help you. But Federal Trade Commission can. That's going to be your last line of defense because, to be honest with you, after contacting them, you're going to have to contact each individual credit bureau on your own. In order to do so, you do click on a link. There's a link here, all three credit bureau agencies, fraud alert status, credit freezes. I'll have links for all that below. You can check that out in the description. But I do appreciate y'all. Thank you for being there. And if you want to hear more from the ghost story does continue. Do not get it twisted. I stopped it 14 minutes in. It got live already. So please, if you want to check out the result of what occurred with They Call Her the Ghost. I'm sorry, They Call Me the Ghost is the channel. But please give her a check out. Check out the awesome video. Those are in the same name that you saw in my video, which is under Global Digital Chaos. Please understand that this is not a fear-mongering situation. This is just something to show you a story you've never heard before that goes to a situation you've probably never been in. So if it helps you in any way, I do appreciate it. And I thank you. And until the next one, y'all, appreciate y'all. And yep. And until the next one, we will get that new. I'm out. Sorry, I'm out. I'm BG. But yep, we'll be back with a new wrinkle on the brain.